to another episode of Witticism. I'm Mary.
And I'm Nolan, bringing you the news that matters most around the globe.
Scientists in Australia have published a study showing that bees can do basic math. They believe this skill may come in handy when they're foraging around flowers. Unfortunately, you will have to find another way to get help with your math homework, as the bees can only add and subtract from 1 to 5.
Justice Parker, a judge in London, had fallen asleep on duty during a court case. Honestly, I don't blame her. I'd be tired of hearing the same story of how husband punched the wife in the face because the dinner was cold. What else could the judge do but say, sorry, that's just really unoriginal? And what better way to say that than falling asleep? You need to start coming in with crazy crime stories like running over somebody on a high-speed chase trying to avoid the flying spaghetti monster. Just to keep her on her toes, then maybe, just maybe, she'll stay awake long enough to actually do her job.
The review app Yelp used artificial intelligence to delete the bugs on their website. The AI did more than that. It deleted everything else, including people's reviews, much to the disappointment of the customers. Meanwhile, small businesses are throwing a party over the fact that their livelihood has been saved from the entitled customers set out to ruin their businesses because their pizza was too greasy or something.
Have you ever dreamt about a night away at a hotel with your significant other? Not just any hotel, but one shaped like a butthole. Yes, it's true, you can stay in a butthole-shaped hotel for a low price of $136 per night. You get the complimentary honeymoon package with bubbly, butthole-shaped chocolates on your pillow and a coupon for a BOGO couple butthole bleaching.
A man was arrested in Vernal, Utah last week for public nudity as a gas station attendant caught him mooning the candy aisle. Around 1 a.m., the clerk called 911, and when cops arrived, the man, with his pants still around his knees, fled on foot and was caught before he could ever reach the exit. 12 candy bars were wedged between his, well, you know.
A Tennessee lawmaker proposed his solution to the opioid crisis today, which is to put a combination lock on all of the opioids. Tennessee's legislation will be starting the simple process of gathering every opioid in the world, mixing them all into evenly sized bottles with unique 3-digit codes, and redistributing them at random as soon as possible.
A lawmaker in Arizona introduced a possible porn tax to help fund President Trump's border wall. Basically, every electronic device would be given an internet cock blocker that blocked access to porn unless you paid a fee. Personally, I can't think of a less productive way to go about funding the wall than a plan not even Trump himself would support.
Honda's coming under flack yet again for their new line of pickup trucks, which had to be recalled for combusting while being washed. The company's CEO released a rather patronizing statement on the matter saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that. How inconvenient that your car caught on fire underwater. Jesus, well, when do you want it to catch on fire? God, I'm not a miracle worker, you know."
Police from Towson University had to warn students and staff around campus about a woman claiming to be on the lookout for someone to date her son. The woman entered multiple buildings on campus, showing students a picture of her son on her phone, screaming, "Would you date him? Don't you think he looks DTF?" Technically, she wasn't doing anything wrong, but her son might think otherwise.
Is your ex a snake? If so, now's your opportunity to cement their snaky status for everyone to see. A zoo held a contest, and the winner's prize was to name a snake after their own ex. At least this snake won't slither out of my life with no explanation. Thank God for cages.
A man in Minnesota was accused of giving his sick wife meth, resulting in her death. Dwayne and Deborah Johnson threw what they called a death party, as Deborah was already very sick and living out her final days in a nursing home. Her husband checked her out and she stopped taking her medication. They spent the evening doing meth and listening to heavy metal until Deborah passed away. Dwayne reportedly wrapped his wife in a sheet, quote, "like the Bible told me to," and waited several hours before calling 911 to make sure she was dead. I have no words. Honestly, we should just count our blessings that these two stayed inside their home and left the rest of the world intact.
Ruka, the Argentine dog, was recently rewarded $1,300 for finding the remains of 2 missing women. The dog is quoted by officials as not really having much use for the money. Ruka was reported later found bathing in the cash without a care in the world. Her new Fox special, Ruka, similar to Lassie, will be airing next week.
A mini horse made history last week when she walked the runway at New York Fashion Week. She showed off some designer clothing with pizzazz, but at what cost? Women now have yet another unrealistic body standard to live up to. My hooves could never.
After a prank pulled by a student, Google Maps renamed a school Hell on Earth. When it was brought to Google's attention, they immediately removed the name. But I think that student was trying to shine a light on the truth. Why should it stop there? We can rename Walmart the lesser Target, and we can call Olive Garden fine dining for white people.
After talking on the phone for 5 years with her boyfriend, a woman has planned the perfect wedding for them. They never actually met in person, but they played 20 questions enough to really know each other. And looks aren't everything, right? Somebody better call Neve.
Arizona is thinking about declaring a porn public health crisis. If so, they should probably stop all travel to their neighboring state, Nevada, where prostitution is as common as a Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe they should put up a wall, if you know what I mean.
And that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Mary.
And I'm Nolan. You stay beautiful, Indiana.
Hey guys, welcome back to another segment of Who the Cares. I'm Haley.
And I'm Kayla, bringing you the latest and greatest headlines straight out of Hollywood. Haley, have you heard about Jordan Woods and Tristan Thompson getting caught making out and flirting in public? Like, how devastating. The Kardashians let Jordan into their family, and she repays them by rubbing the schlong of her BFF sister's baby daddy? That just isn't cool. I would never do that to my best friend, especially if my best friend was one of the youngest billionaires in the world. I hope Kylie kicks her out and seeks for a new best friend, a blonde best friend. Like me, I would just be the bestest best friend.
While I imagine your intelligence complimenting hers quite nicely, who the cares? Kylie Jenner isn't going to pick you of all people to be her new BFF. Plus, there's so many other important things to be focusing on right now. Jussie Smollett was arrested for staging the assault that he came forward with last week, claiming it was a hate crime. And then he admitted that he paid the attackers and was never really in danger. Now there's going to be so much more ridicule and victim blaming when it comes to reporting an assault, especially if you're a member of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I think I did hear about that. But did you hear about Chanel's creative director, Karl Lagerfeld, died? What is Chanel going to do? Are their designs going to change? Karl was amazing at keeping the original version intact. Well, I never had a Chanel bag, or could even afford a Chanel bag, or even know what a Chanel bag looks like. But it's important, and I'm so worried.
Boo-hoo! Who the cares that your bougie designer brand lost their creative director? What about the thousands and thousands of families being split up over being migrants to this country? Children of all ages are being left alone without their parents because they're not technically citizens and they can't afford the rigorous hoops to get their citizenship. These children have no parents to tuck them in at night, not let alone a Chanel bag to carry their green card in.
But what about Ariana Grande taking over the UK #1 and #2 spot? Something that hasn't ever been done by a female and hasn't been done since the Beatles. She's breaking records every week, it seems. I cannot even believe it. I wonder what the secret to her success is. It's probably hidden in that ponytail.
God, who the cares? With Trump still as our president, hate crimes have increased more than they have in 5 years, and there's more hate groups in the US than there ever was. This country focuses so much on hate and pop culture that we're all missing the fact that we're slowly traveling back to the 1960s.
You're right, Haley. Who the cares?
Here's a story of a lovely lady who was producing for 3 very lovely girls. All of them had jokes they told, all together, the oldest one in curls. It's the story of a man named Kane who was busy with 3 boys of his own. They were 4 men working all together, yet they were all alone. Till the one day when the lady met this fellow, and they knew there was much more than a hunch, that this group must somehow form a family. That's the way we all became the Witty Bunch. The Witty Bunch, the Witty Bunch. That's the way we became the Witty Bunch.
High school was a tricky place for a grandma named Bertha. No one really got me. None of the other girls shared my love for rollers and icy hot. And don't even get me started on the boys. They all wanted girls like Shannon Buchanan with perfect blonde hair, matching two-pieces, and small foreign dogs that have yet to be discovered in the States yet. It was 11th grade and I was the loneliest gal in school. Even the janitor was more popular than me. They even voted him most likely to date a student. I'd never even had a kiss, let alone a boyfriend. And all everyone could talk about is how good it felt when someone touched your starfish. I couldn't believe it the first time I overheard Martha Wrongwheeled say it, so I went to the library after school, hoping I could read up on what she was talking about. You'd think it'd be pretty easy, but when I asked the librarian if she had books about making your starfish feel good, she directed me to the aquatics section. I realized I had to tackle this on my own. The next day at school, I walked into the bathroom right after Martha. I had to ask her what she was talking about the other day in class. When I walked into the bathroom, she was applying her lipstick at the mirror, and I decided to be casual and do the same right next to her. Right when I started putting on my lipstick, I turned and said, "Martha, what were you talking about in class yesterday? About your, you know." She was so embarrassed that I heard her talk about it. She begged me not to tell anyone if she told me. I promised her I'd never tell a soul, except for right now, and she told me that she found some tape in her mom's room that shows a lady doing what a man would do to a lady, but by herself. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know that was something you could do alone. I had to know more about it, how it worked. What do you do? Is it safe? Martha was getting annoyed, but told me she'd put the tape in the mailbox at 7:03 p.m. She never told me why at that time, but sure enough, at 7:03, that tape was in my mailbox. And what can I say? It's been 40 years, and I still don't need a man, and neither do you.
Welcome back to Witticism's Word of the Day, your primary source for today's most important words. Today's word of the day is mocha latte. Noun, hot chocolate pretending to be coffee. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't buy friendship, buy alcohol.
Never have I ever stalked an ex's significant other's social media.
Nope. I don't have social media to do that with.
That is true. I still stalk them.
Define still.
Like, still. Like,
Okay, so like
I don't even, I just do. I don't know.
like people you're not even dating anymore, you still stalk their exes on social media?
Yeah.
That's a little petty.
I know.
That's a little very petty.
But it's like, who can do better than me? Everyone can, but
No.
I already follow my ex's significant other on like every social media, so I haven't really stalked it. But when I do see a picture of them together, I'm not gonna lie, I vomit a little bit. Like, I'm just like, shouldn't have done that.
I'm petty.
I'm petty, but I'm not that petty. I'll just like creep on my ex. I don't need to go as far as creeping on who they're with. Like, I don't care.
I just creep on them, see if I'm better looking, and yeah, that's it.
Oh, I always know I am, but I just want to know how bad they downgraded.
I am literally not invested in the life of my ex at all. Like, I don't care.
Was my friend, I got ditched at homecoming my senior year, and my friend sent me a screenshot of her Instagram like a month later, like, just saw the new movie, like It, wish I could see it with a boy, and I was like, off.
Never have I ever kissed someone I didn't like.
I don't think I have.
I've kissed quite a few of my friends just out of curiosity. So like the stranger thing wouldn't work out for me, but it's totally okay when I know them. But there was no romantic attraction there. It was like, okay, now that we've done that, let's never do it again.
Not for me.
No, never done that. Thinking about it.
Well, define like, you know, like hated them or like had no feelings for them.
I assume it means have no feelings. Like if you kissed a friend, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You know, I went through some rough stages in my life. This was about last year, so it happens. It happens.
It happens.
Exactly.
It happens somewhere.
It's fine.
Not to me, but it happens.
For sure, a couple times in my day.
I did it once. They kind of just came up to me and just laid one on me, and I was scared. I'm completely honest. It was weird.
Mine was during my house party days, before I got scared of house parties. Now I'm too scared of house parties.
Never have I ever put someone down to benefit myself. No, not intentionally, but like I feel I've definitely done that before, not meaning to. So I guess both, but I just don't mean it.
No, not really. Cause that doesn't make me like feel better.
It makes me feel like
It
crap.
makes me when
Yeah,
I make someone
me too.
feel like shit.
Cause like I'd rather them make me feel like been there.
Okay, but like for real, it's not healthy. But like, yeah, I would much rather be the one feeling like. Like it's weird. What? No.
Make a wish.
It's mean.
Listen, you have to build a stepping stone somehow. And if someone is my stepping stone, climb on up.
Oh my God.
Look at where I am. You're all below me, so
You right.
who got to where they are today?
I don't think I've ever consciously done it. If I have done it, I don't feel like I'm ever mean to someone unless I'm like their best friend and we're mean to each other because we love each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just baseline kindness because I can't handle guilt at all.
Me, but seriously, if you do it politely, people are okay with it. Seriously, like you can step on, I was stepped on for years and I realized I'm letting people do this. And as soon as you learn how to let people, like let you step on them, like you're golden. You're like walking on water.
You're so
But crushing
right.
other
Oh my
people's
God.
dreams.
Never have I ever done something I wasn't supposed to do in the dorms.
The weird thing is I can't remember what I did.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I just know for a fact that like I've done something I wasn't supposed to do and I'm completely blanking on
Yeah,
what it
I
was.
mean like, I didn't go to like the extent, I mean I drank in the dorms,
Oh yeah.
but burn candles, that's illegal. Had Christmas lights.
Yeah, no, I have
I don't live in the dorm, so
Yeah, she cheated the system.
I cheat the system. IUP.
I don't think I ever did like candles or anything, but I did have Christmas lights. And
How dare you have Christmas
I remember
lights?
one time my RA came in for like one of those like random checkups, and I was just like sitting in my room with the Christmas lights on my laptop, and I heard he was coming in and knocked on the door, and I literally just turned the lights off and he opened the door, and I'm sitting in pure darkness on my laptop, and I think it looked a lot weirder that way than if I just left the Christmas lights on the lights. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna find, because we threatened fines all the time when we were freshmen grabbing Christmas lights, and I was like, I can't have this.
I feel like if you're in the dorms, you're bound to do something you're not supposed
Oh yeah,
to have
definitely.
done in the dorms.
I've done everything you're not supposed to do in the dorms.
Like you're not even allowed to have a wax burner. Like maybe I could understand
I know
candles.
they took mine away.
I could understand
had one and they
camel,
took
like,
it away.
Candles because of flames, because like obviously fire,
Yeah.
but like a wax burner.
Yeah, they took mine away and I still haven't gotten it back yet to take it home, so I'm pretty mad about it.
Oh, I don't know if it's technically not allowed, but for Christmas, my roommate and I were talking about getting a tree, so I grabbed a stick from outside and like hung it up and was just like, Merry Christmas, and then I like left it over break, but also no one took it out, so like maybe it was allowed. Riveting, I know.
Maybe you were fined. Did you
Oh,
ever
it might
check-
have been secret find.
Yeah, you probably might have been.
I mean, but they like moved it. Like they were aware and like didn't say anything about it.
Fire! Water!
But like every scene I felt
Never have I ever dated somebody that my friends told me to date. I will do anything that somebody tells me to do. I'm pretty gullible.
I don't really listen to my friends that much. I kind of just do my own thing and hope for the best.
My friends know I'm like pretty single, so they try to help me out, but normally I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Who is that? But sometimes I give them a shot, and usually that's when I get shot.
Nope, have not.
So kind of. Before I dated my high school boyfriend, my friends were like, I don't know, maybe you should date him. You guys seem to get along really well. And I was like, that'd be weird. And then a few months later,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I started dating. The thing is, I feel like knowing that they were okay with it made it easier for me to do it, just because I was dating within the friend group, which is dangerous territory.
Don't do that ever.
Yeah, no, don't do that. But like my friends were like, that'd be okay with us. And I was like, okay. I guess I can do it. And then
dated someone just because my friends told me to.
I never have.
Sort of. It wasn't like, it was like I was okay with it, but I just never thought about it until a friend was like, you should go out with that person. And I was like, oh yeah, like that would be nice.
I haven't dated many people in my life, so.
Neither have I. They're just all weird circumstances.
So when I do, it's kind of based upon like, you know, mutual feelings. It's not really like someone telling me to do something.
Never have I ever had a crush on my friend's parents. I've definitely never had a crush, but my friends, I've seen some like good-looking parents with my friends.
Yeah, my one friend's dad's really hot, but I wouldn't like crush. I'm just saying like he's hot.
Yeah, like I'd call him daddy, but like I don't have feelings.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't call him daddy material.
Oh, I would.
Okay.
Never have I ever had a crush on my friend's parent.
No, that's a really weird question.
I don't have friends.
I haven't, but there are some people's dads that are attractive, but they're not my friends, so like, no.
I literally cannot even think of one instance where I thought one of my friend's parents was attractive. I feel like that's really weird, but.
Oh, it's weird. That's why they're not my friends.
Right, exactly, like distance yourself. If you find an older person attractive, don't be connected to them in any way. Yeah, it's,
Never have I ever lied about a family member's death to get out of class or doing something for class. No.
No, I think that brings negative energy upon your family.
I have heavily
Bad
considered
chakras.
it though.
I've never done that.
No, that's really screwed up if you have. It's like bad mojo, and it's just like, no.
I agree. I know, like, my roommates have done it, and I'm like, yo. And then my roommate did it, and like 3 months later, her gram died.
That's
So like, not immediate karma, but like, she sneaks up. She's like, got your kiss. Karma got its kiss for me.
That's not okay. That's morally very wrong.
No.
Because what if you actually have a family member die and then you get out of class for like, I don't know, maybe the whole start of junior year? It was a bad time in my life.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Don't do that, guys. That's
bad juju.
No, yeah, don't do that.
You do that, you're just a bad person. You deserve just like, step on a Lego. My hair's like not straight and I don't know what happened to it.
No, mine's not straight up.
What happened?
Never have I ever sleptwalked and done something weird.
Yes.
What did you do?
It wasn't necessarily sleepwalking. I was in a cot. No, I moved around and shit, like I got up. I don't know how I did it. I was in like a cot and it was like a sheet, me, blanket, and somehow in the middle of the night I managed to flip over, so I was at the foot of the bed and the sheet was under me and the blanket was over me, but like perfectly. So my theory is that I got up, redid the bed, and then got back in, but I'll never be sure.
I have.
I was on vacation. Oh, I was gonna tell you. I was on vacation with my sister, and we're sleeping in the same room, and each bed was on different sides, and I was sleeping, and she walks in apparently, and I was just standing there sleeping. And like, I just woke up, got out of the bed, and just stood in the middle of the floor, just sleeping.
Oops. Yes.
In 4th grade, I was staying at my friend's house, and she had like a full bed, so like we just like shared the bed when I stayed there. And her brother lived. Her brother was across the hall, and he had 2 beds, like one like this and one like this. And I sleptwalked into his room, into his other bed.
Why did they have 2 beds?
I don't know.
Like a Lucille Ball thing.
But it was like, I woke up there and I was like,
One time I was napping on the couch and I woke up to go to dinner to sit at the table and my shoe was just on the table. And my mom was like, why is this here? And I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was me while I was sleeping. Never got much of an explanation, but I think I did it. I
didn't put it there, but like, it's my shoe.
Oh, mine's like more simple. It only happened once. I was like 10 years old at my cousin's house for like a sleepover, but my cousin was weird and only slept with her mom in bed, like till she was like 14. But we're not gonna talk about her mommy issues. We're gonna talk about me sleepwalking. I was sleeping in her bed and it was like one of those cool beds with like the canopies, everything. Love staying there, made me feel like a princess. But I went to bed in the bed and when I woke up, I was like, do you remember those like couches that would fold up and then they would roll out as a bed?
Yeah.
Like very tiny though. I woke up in that. And it was on the other side of the room.
She had that in her room?
Yeah, her room was huge.
Was she rich?
Her dad built her the best house ever. She had her own room, a playroom, and then a spare room with her clothes.
Do you still talk to your cousin?
Yeah, she's doing good. Her dad died.
I was at my grandma's house, and I don't know what happened, but at some point in the night, I apparently woke up, went downstairs, walked in her bedroom, walked to the window, yelled, "Grandma, I'm falling." And like, the window was closed, by the way, but like, I could easily open it and like crawl out.
Never have I ever purposely ignored a "you up" text.
Yeah.
You're just not feeling it sometimes.
Yeah, you know?
And I feel bad.
You
but
up?
Like,
No?
you up dives out a window.
Yes, I have. The answer is yes.
Not often.
I have, yes.
Not often, but I've done it before.
Every single day of my life.
I don't have time for that. I'll look at it and I'll play on my phone and act like it was never there. I don't have time for that.
If you text me after 10 p.m., you better be important.
I've never gotten one, so. Oh wait, shoot, I've got a, yeah, I have. He has a Snapchat. It was weird.
I mean, if it's a text, I do this thing where if I read it in notifications but don't actually open it, then I technically didn't see it, so I can sleep restfully without
I technically didn't
feeling
see it, so it's
guilty
fine.
that I just ignored them, but I do that a lot. I don't like talking to people when I don't want to talk to people, so.
Never have I ever stolen something. Wait, yes, I have stolen something, or no, I've never stolen something? Yeah. Again, it's another I can't remember specifically,
Yeah,
but I know
me
at some
either.
point in my life I've done it. But like nothing big.
Nothing,
just
yeah,
like,
nothing like, I never took like clothes or anything.
Oh, well, alcohol from like a friend's parent. That's one that I've done a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the most prominent example I can think of.
Never done that.
I have.
I've stolen a lot of things.
Like what?
I had like an issue in high school. I was like obsessed with hair products, but like I didn't want to spend any money on them. And my local
It's
Kmart,
expensive.
yeah, my local Kmart had like 0 security practices. So every single day I had a part-time job and I worked at 4 p.m. and I'd get out of school at 3. So I had an hour and I lived half an hour away from school. So going home like wasn't plausible. So I would just go to Kmart, walk around and get what I needed to get, leave without paying, and then go to work. And that's how I had over $300 worth of hair products when I came here as a freshman.
At least it was free.
Free 99.
Never have I ever stolen something. Everybody has, I think, when we were little, but I haven't since I like can comprehend things.
I don't think I've ever stolen from like a store or anything, although I did have this one friend who had this really cool basement, like lots of cool stuff in it. And every now and then I would find something cool that I knew she wouldn't miss and I'd just take it home.
Oh, lava lamp.
No, it was always like small things. Like I think one time I found like a little charm bracelet and I was like, she's not gonna miss this. And then I would wear it and be like, look at my charm bracelet.
Look at this. It's like, I know, that's weird.
I guess that was before I developed a conscience, or maybe I was just really good at like legitimizing things when I wanted to, so.
Yeah, don't forget to press.
I can touch your toes.
Okay, guys, we are recording.
Boo-hoo! Please give us
You guys are gonna start over, that was so funny.